Hey everyone, this is Connor Wolford and welcome to the first episode of the Family Gossips podcast. In this episode, I'll be introducing myself a little bit more and just letting you all know what the podcast is going to involve. But I'll see you in a minute. Welcome to the podcast, everyone. We made it. It's Monday. It's the first episode of the Family Gossips. I'm Connor Wolford, as you know, your host, and this will be the only episode where I will be on myself for a long time anyway. I won't be on my episode any other episodes. It'll just be this one because I just want to introduce myself a little bit and introduce what the podcast is about, why we decided to make it, and what we're hoping to bring to you all. But we want to eventually make the podcast video, so obviously you can watch it on YouTube. It is going onto YouTube, but not in a video format, obviously. But yeah, I just want to make you guys happy with what you're listening to, and I hope it's gonna work, and you know, gonna bring it to you. But I just want to fill you in on my life, what I do, why did we start the podcast, and what we're bringing to you, what we're bringing for your listening. I've been wanting to start this podcast for a few years now. Not just this podcast. I've just been wanting to start a podcast. But it's taken, like, obviously I've been trying to get so many people's opinions on what they think I should, like, names, a topic, what equipment to start with. Like, at the minute I'm using DJI Mic Minis. They're really, I think they're epic for audio quality because I'm recording this on my iPad, and at the minute I think they're an epic microphone for what I need it for purposely. But in the future I want to bring that to I want to get the DJI video camera. That's what we can obviously video on. I'm currently saving up for a new high-end laptop, but like with everything in my basket at the minute, it's over £2,000, and I'm like, whoa, okay, we'll get there, but it's just it's gonna be one of them. It's gonna take time to get there, but hopefully, with me learning what you guys like and what you guys want, by the time I get all the good quality equipment, I know I've got the good quality mics at the minute, but for editing and stuff, hopefully it'll, I'll be making good quality episodes for you all every week. That's my goal anyway. And obviously, as you heard in the trailer, I'm a fiance, so we won't just be talking about one family as the Family Gossips. We'll be talking about two which have came into one. I've got my in-laws, and just how I've been here for 3 years this year, 2025, and it's been amazing to what's the word I'm thinking of, to involve everyone. And me and my fiance, we set up an engagement meal, so both families could come together, and we could both come together as families to just get to know everyone. Parents know the other parents, grandparents, uncles, aunties, cousins, and now everyone knows each other. And I think we get along greatly. Everyone stays in contact with everyone, and I'll fill you in more in a minute on what's going on in my situation. But whilst I was in hospital for 3 weeks over Christmas, 2 weeks, something like that. But yeah, back onto being a fiance. Me and my fiance Emma, who will eventually be obviously on the pod, she said yes to me. We went to Paris for a long weekend. A funny story actually. I was so nervous. You know, people that are fiancés or planning on getting engaged, fellas. I was so nervous about asking her dad. I was bricking it. I was sweating from places I didn't know I could sweat from. I was so scared. Like, I was holding the ring box in my hand. I came downstairs. I was like, okay. I told Emma's stepmom, her mum, her sister, and I was bricking it. I was sat on the sofa next to my father-in-law, and I was like, okay, come on, let's just. We were talking about football. What's on the TV? Yeah, what's going on the TV? And then I said, Peter, because his name's Peter, obviously. I said, Peter, I've got something to ask you. Wow, so red in her face, and I was about to cry because I was just so nervous but happy at the same time. And I said, Peter, I've got something to tell you. I gave him the ring box, and it made it even worse because he couldn't work out which side the ring box opened from. I don't think he clicked on at first what it was in the box. But yeah, obviously he opened it, and but yeah, I asked if I could marry Emma, and he said yes, as long as you look after her. And then we were just chatting normally again. Like I was so scared for a moment that lasts 10 seconds, But yeah, it was the proudest moment of my life that he said yes, and I like knowing that I've made a good impression on myself and the family like me, and I've been able to create such a great bond with my in-laws, like they're my own parents. Like I've got two sets of parents now, and it's just amazing that me and Emma can go through this together. Of just the planning and Emma picking bridesmaids, me picking a best man, and we're not at that point as such yet. Obviously we're going to get there, but we're just with. So I'll tell you what's been going on with my situation. I've currently been out of work since the beginning of December now. I had I'm asthmatic, and I had some sort of fit and an asthma attack in my sleep, which Emma woke me up. Well, tried, and since I've had an undiagnosed tremor in my legs, which was why I was in hospital because I can't walk. I can't really do anything myself at the minute. But I'm on medication and currently waiting to hear off a neurologist doctor um, to find out whatever the problem is. But it's been hard because I'm quite a active, fit, and healthy person. I like going to the gym, um, and I love driving, but I haven't been able to drive, so I'm relying on everyone else to drive me everywhere. And yeah, it's not been nice. I can't get up the stairs well. I have to go up on my bum, and pull myself up with my arms. But everyone's been looking after me, and that's obviously where it comes in. If I've been with my in-laws at their house, they've been looking after me, and my parents have been saying thank you so much. If I've been at home, obviously parents, and Emma's always here. Whatever I need, she's honest. She's the most precious thing to me. I sound so soppy right now, and she'll hate me, but she's like so precious to me, and we can have our bicker and like every relationship, but she's the most precious thing ever, and I'm grateful she said yes. And that's the funny. Back onto the funny story of proposing. So we went to Paris, and my original plan was to propose under or next to the Eiffel Tower. Um, and there was photographers that would they pull you up if you go into the park at the Eiffel Tower and after your picture at that. But we had pictures with him, yeah, and I was like, oh my god, where's the ring? Where's the ring? 'Cause I was feeling all my pockets. I was like, where's my ring? Wait, I put it in my hat. My hat was in my pocket. Reach in my hat. No, where's the ring? Where's the box? And then after the pictures, I think we went for dinner, and then we went back to the hotel to get changed to go out for the evening again. And I was it was in the wardrobe. I kept it in one of my shoes, but stuffed loads of socks and at the back. But I actually ended up because I was going to propose that night if it didn't work in the day. So I ended up, I brought the ring out with us. We were nicely dressed, had tea, went for a walk around the park, and um, Emma was saying she was really cold and she had a headache, and I was like, "Oh, can we just 5 more minutes? 5 more minutes. We'll just go on a nice walk and do our thing," because I was trying to get the courage to obviously ask the question. But I didn't end up asking the question at where I wanted to. But when we got back to the room, um, took our shoes off, and as you do, and actually I got down on one knee in the hotel room and said, "Emma, will you marry me?" And obviously she said yes, thankfully. But yeah, obviously I didn't do it where I planned to do it. But it was still great. We did it in Paris. It was in the moment, and yeah, I'm so glad she said yes, and her dad said yes, and her family said yes, because I didn't just ask her dad. I wanted to ask her stepmom, her mum, her sister. Just I felt it was respectful towards the family. Everyone knew. But I did hide it from my mum and dad. I think they knew a little bit, but I didn't want to. I wanted it to be a big surprise because we FaceTimed them when I did it, and we FaceTimed them. And Emma was like, "Oh my God, Connor's just asked to marry me," and it was all obviously big thing. And then when we got back, everyone was like, "Yay, yay, they're engaged. Let's get the wedding going." But this was in December 2023. So we've been engaged 2 years this year. Um, the wedding day is obviously getting a day closer every day, but it's just obviously expense, deciding venue, church, because I'm more set on doing a venue wedding. Emma, she liked the idea of church more, but she might be liking the idea of a venue more now. So we're just trying to. We don't want to rush into it because obviously you don't have to rush into it. We're only young. We're both 21. So yeah, we don't want to rush into it. We've got enough time to plan, save, and we've got everyone around to help too. So yeah, it's what gonna be probably another year or so yet, but we're happy with that. We know none of us are going anywhere. So yeah, we've got this podcast now, and yeah, we're still rolling with things. But we'll get there. And I just wanted to obviously come on here to explain this all, to talk to you about my bit before everybody else, before I ask everybody else the questions when other family members are on, because I won't be talking about me as much. It'll just be them. So if it's my sister, my granddad, my father-in-law, Emma, fiance, obviously. So yeah, whoever it is, we'll just be getting to know them instead of being on me. Obviously, I'll be talking through it, remembering memories with people, but yeah, it'll all come together. I don't want to give away too much of what it's going to be like because I want to save it for your guys listening. Obviously, the first episode with a guest is going to come out a week after this. I'm recording this a bit earlier than the Monday, but yeah, I just can't wait for you guys to hear it, to be honest, and hopefully you like it. Make sure to leave any comments in down below. In down below. In down below. How does in the description, in the comment section, in whatever you would like to call it. Drop a message. Should we just say drop a message? Drop a message down below. That sounds better, doesn't it? But I wanted to also talk about my hobbies, like when I am well and not got legs that aren't working properly. I have quite a few hobbies. I like boxing. I don't really fight. I've just mostly done it as to keep fit kind of thing. I've had one fight with UWCB, Ultra White Collar Boxing. Didn't go my way, unfortunately, but it was great experience, great to you know, have the money raised for the charity. I like going on PlayStation. I've got the PS5, obviously. I've got UFC 5, FIFA, Fortnite, Black Ops 6. Um, Seen a new WK25 is coming out, so that'll be one soon. I like football. I play quite a bit of football when I'm well. Played football with the college, and obviously I like going to the gym when I'm well again. Now I like going to the gym 3-4 times a week just for the fitness and health. I like to know I'm a good weight for my age. I'm a good health. I can run a 10k with not struggling. I don't like running long distances. I'm more fast, short distances. 10k I don't mind. But anything over kills me. It absolutely destroys me. But one of my biggest passions in life is probably at the minute is going to be being successful in doing this podcast. I really want to be successful in doing it. Like, I've listened to podcasts for years. I've listened to Nearlyweds, which is now Newlyweds, since they started. I listened to Wednesdays We Drink Wine. I listen to hundreds of different podcasts and the way each different podcast works. And it's amazing. Like, the different, some people do it solo, some people do it together, like Newlyweds, like I just mentioned, Sophie and Jamie. Or if one of them aren't available, they'll bring a guest on, or they'll do a special episode. But yeah, it's just brought to me that it's easy but hard at the same time. You've got to think of the right topic that people are gonna want to listen to, which is why we thought, why not bring it about the family? Let people on the inside of what our family life is like. Obviously, this first episode is a bit different, but don't expect future episodes to be as much like this one, because this is just me filling you in on obviously what to expect, little bit about me. But yeah, I just wanted to bring everyone on the outside. What is it like on the inside of the family? And that's why it's the family gossips. We'll gossip about our life, secrets that we might not know. Um, but yeah, there's so much we'll get to talk about in an episode, and it'll just be nice to, have you guys listen to it, laugh with us, like, oh my god, I did that once, or oh my god, that is such a disgusting thing to do. It's but yeah, I don't want to give too much away at the minute, because it'll all come obviously every Monday. um, but going on to a different topic, so you're not getting bored. I've had quite a few challenges in life, but number one being I had a head accident when I was a lot younger. I was 11 or 12, just left primary school, and I'd been on the park with my mates, and I jumped off a swing, and the swing had hit me in the side of the head, and on the side you've got your temple, which is the softest part of your skull, and I had ruptured a vein, which caused a bleed on the brain, a blood clot, hematoma. But I was obviously rushed to hospital. I was there for 2-3 weeks, maybe. Um, Everyone was great. Obviously, my family was so scared. Obviously, they didn't know what was happening, but like any family would be scared. Oh my god, what's happening? Is he going to be okay? But it was a very long recovery. I was I wasn't properly recovered for about 2 years from the accident. I couldn't walk really for say 3-4 months after it happened. But I'm glad I'm where I am now. I can say, wow, I got through it. I did it. I managed to do that. Everybody helped me through it, and with my legs at the minute, I know I can get through it. It's just putting that through my head and doing it. Come on, I've got to get through it. I've got to do it. I've done it before. Obviously, it's a bit different, but I've done it before. So let's just do it. But it is scary not being able to use your legs properly. I don't know, obviously, if anyone listening, but it does scare me. Not knowing properly what it is at the minute because it's undiagnosed. But I'm just trying my hardest to not let it bother me mentally. Just trying to shut it out mentally. Obviously, it's there physically, but I'm trying different things every day, different exercises with them, just to see if it'll help. Not major exercises, just a little bit of a stretch, or just I try and have a walk every day. I have to walk on crutches in a minute, but yeah, I'm getting there slowly. The medication has helped, but I think it's at the point now where I'm just waiting to see the neurologist, and then we can go from there. Then really, um, but it's always helped with just people being there. And speaking about people being there, one of the most influential people to me in my life has been my granddad. The reason why is he's always bounced back properly. My granddad's always bounced back from anything. He had cancer a few years ago, but it's like he never had it. He just always bounced back. He didn't want to be bothered. Just let him do his thing, and now he's as strong as some 30-year-old men. You know, not not physically, obviously, but mentally and stuff. He's great, and he's just learnt me so much about money as well. And yeah, he's such a hard worker. He he's never off sick unless something's properly wrong with him. He's never off sick, and yeah, he's been one of the most influential people to me. Obviously, there's a lot more I could name. Like my parents have been influential throughout my whole life. My fiance's influential. But yeah, my granddad's just one that's I've always looked at as, because he can be a wind-up merchant. I'll give him that. But I've lived with that for all my life. He was in the army through his young years. But yeah, it's great to have him. It's really, and if he listens to this, he'll be like, "Ah, yes, you soppy git," and wind me up about it. But yeah, it's great to have him with us, and we just all love him. We love his humour, his comedy. It'll probably be one of the best guests on this podcast, just for the comedy and entertainment side that it'll bring. But yeah, he's definitely the most influential person in my life, and probably many others in the family too. Um, but yeah, it's just people like that have taught me who to be, and how to act, and just how to take things. But speaking about something different now. Biggest pet peeve. What is your biggest pet peeve? Drop it in the messages below. um, no, my biggest pet peeve is, when people will eat with their mouth open, like, oh no, sorry, or talk with food in their mouth and chomping, and it goes straight through me, especially if we're out in a restaurant or something, it, or when people accidentally scrape their cutlery on the plate or bowl, and oh no, it goes through. Or my fiance, she, when she's eating off a fork, she'll scrape off it with her teeth, and the sound goes straight through me. Like when somebody scratches a 3D book or something. It's horrible. It is actually horrible. But going back onto video podcasts, when the reason we aren't doing video at the minute is just because, obviously, like I said at the beginning, we don't have the resources to do video. I'm saving up for a high-end laptop, a high-end video camera. I've got them in my basket ready. It's just saving the money and getting there. And then it's just thinking obviously about a place to record, a good place where you're going to get good quality video and audio, because obviously at the minute we're just focusing on giving you good audio and obviously the content, but making sure the audio's sounding good for wherever you are, in the car, in your AirPods, in just on the TV, wherever it may be, or on Alexa. But yeah, I can't wait to bring you a video podcast, but it might be a while. But I'm glad I can, give you the podcast whilst it builds up to that. Hopefully it kind of builds up. You know what I mean? It'll build from. We've started as the audio. We're introducing people. We build up every podcast. We get better every episode, and then one day it'll be, boom, we're video. The Family Gossips podcast is on video. That's of that could be a passion too, of wanting to get video done and get there. But we'll get there eventually. It's just obviously being patient, and just wait until we can. I've got a lot of other people helping me too, but we'll get there. I'm not worried that we're not doing video at the minute, because hopefully I can bring you the best audio podcast, and hopefully you guys will love listening. A new episode every Monday, as I keep saying. Sorry for repeating myself. But yeah, these DJI Mic Minis I think they're great for audio. I've done so many tests on different apps, and I think they're just great for audio perspective on whatever you want to record on. Really, obviously, I've seen them on video cameras, on the Digi Osmo cameras, on iPads, on iPhones, on camcorders, on your iPhone. Yeah, I think it's been a good budget microphone for the start of the podcast. Maybe we might get more different microphones as we go on, test what works out best. When we get a laptop, computer, video camera, we might find a different microphone which works different for when we record on different software. But I guess it's all a learning thing, and I guess a lot of other podcasters have learned as they've gone on. And yeah, I just cannot wait to bring it to you guys. Hopefully, as I say, it's going to be full of good entertainment and comedy. You're going to find out a lot about us as the family, and yeah, I just can't wait to bring it to you, really. And first guest episode will be on the 10th of February. This will be coming out on the 3rd of February. So it's the 3rd of February today. Hello guys, 3rd of February. But episodes will probably aim for around 30 minutes to an hour every time. This episode might be a little bit shorter just because it's just been me. But I've just been wanting to fill you in on me, on my biggest challenges and inspirations and biggest pet peeves and what I've had through life, and obviously why the podcast started and why we came up with the name. And yeah, I hope I've filled in everything for you. I hope it's explained everything and what to expect from the podcast. I hope I've not bored you too much, hopefully. But yeah, please drop anything you like in the comment section below, and any advice, anything at all, any listeners' questions you'd like us to add on any of the episodes. If we don't add them on the next one, I'm sure they'll be on the one after. We'll always see them, so don't worry. But anything at all, drop it below. I cannot wait for you guys to listen. I hope you enjoyed the experience as much as we do, and I will see you again next week for a brand new episode. Bye bye.